Understanding the millennial mindset, improving communication, and reducing turnover in your organization. Is the generational gap in your business widening every day? Let me guess. Managers see new hires as lazy and entitled. New hires don't think they need to pay their dues. Rising stars leave after just 18 months. Sound familiar? It's no secret millennials, born 1981 to 1996, have a different definition of professionalism. Do you understand why? Great managers do. The millennial generation is nearly 80 million strong. The US Bureau of Labor Statistics estimates that by 2030, millennials will dominate the workforce at a whopping 75% majority. The culture transformation will be quick, but as you already know, not painless. One of the questions most often asked by executives, managers, and supervisors during our leadership development and productivity improvement process is, how do I deal with this younger generation? Why do they think differently? Actually, every generation is asked the same question. This time, there are 5 primary areas of contention. Let's get these issues on the table, T-A-B-L-E, technology, authority, balance, loyalty, and entitlement. Technology. Millennials grew up with computers, tablets, smartphones, and all types of apps. They experience change at a rapid pace. The shelf life of technology is getting shorter every day. As a result, if millennials believe there is a better, faster, cheaper way, they are likely to try it. They don't want to get left behind. Things to consider. Millennials seek constant progress. That mindset can be put to good use by getting them to focus their efforts on things that need improvement. Find an inefficient process or outdated program that could use enhancement and hand it off as a special project. A fresh pair of eyes is invaluable. Are you holding on to the way it's always been done because that works for you? Or are you honestly open to change demanded by today's fast-paced, competitive business climate? Authority. Many millennial children were encouraged to question authority. Even for those who didn't explicitly hear that message, they saw the need to do just that when figures of authority or seniority, one after another, were exposed by the media for behaving inappropriately. As a result, millennials have become much stingier about handing over respect. Social trust has disintegrated among the general public over the recent decades, and this is the only world millennials know. Where previous generations used people from earlier generations as role models, millennials often look to their peers to define success. They believe innovation trumps experience. They also believe paying your dues may actually be holding some young professionals back from reaching their true potential. Things to consider. Millennials believe that everyone is equal, primarily because their parents gave them a voice at a very young age. They believe everyone brings value to an organization in his/her own way from day one. They don't value traditional ranks and chain of command as others have in the past. So what does that mean for millennials managers? Respect may not come immediately, and it certainly won't be based on authority, seniority, or a title. You might think their speaking up is disrespectful or overstepping their bounds, but from their perspective, they think you chose me out of all the candidates who applied. Don't you want to hear my opinion? Don't you want me to help the company in any way I can? Even if it goes outside my job description. If you're serious about retaining millennials, are you demanding respect based on your position and tenure, or are you gaining it via influence, expertise, and mentorship? Balance. Another complaint about millennials is that they are constantly distracted at work. The natural assumption is they have no work ethic. For a generation that values a 9-to-5 productivity, this is understandably irritating. While previous generations requested greater work-life balance, millennials are now demanding work-life integration. Everyone has smartphones, so there's no longer a separation between personal and professional lives. Unlike previous generations who left their personal life at the door, millennials value authenticity and being who we are all the time, whether at work or at play. They are more constrained by a strict dress code than other employees because they feel it is restricting their identity and self-expression at work. Things to consider. Today's demand for work-life integration calls for a new management method. With 24/7 availability, it's harder to quantify employee productivity by hours logged. So other measurable milestones are now needed. Are they getting their jobs done? Are they obtaining the desired results for their roles? And are they still accessible even when they're not visible in the office? Visibility does not equal productivity. By allowing employees to thrive in their 24/7 world, mixing in an appropriate dose of personal time throughout the day, employers can gain hours of availability from staff that they've never had before. Loyalty. Another complaint often heard about millennials is their lack of loyalty. Here is the harsh reality. They don't know what loyalty looks like. They've never seen it. Divorce peaked in the 1980s. They saw their parents get laid off, in some cases multiple times. Don't expect long-term loyalty from millennials when they know you can let them go with no cause on their part and little or no notice. Millennials work for you because it's currently mutually beneficial. When it's no longer the case, they are gone, whether it's your decision or theirs. From the millennials' experiences, loyalty isn't worth as much today as it was to their parents. Things to consider. If millennials don't like their managers, they're gone. If they don't like their schedules, they're gone. If they get bored with their roles, they're gone. If you want millennials to stay, gain their loyalty by treating them like internal customers. Continue winning them over like you do your external customers and show appreciation for their commitment over time, just as you would a returning customer. Remember, there are ample opportunities for your employees to go elsewhere, and they choose to continue working for you. Don't take anyone for granted, or else prepare yourself for more 2-week notices. Entitlement. Why do millennials feel entitled? In general, millennials were rarely told no when they were growing up. They think they can have everything they want because that's what their parents gave them for the most part. And their parents would bail them out when they got in trouble. The use of personal credit cards escalated during their childhood, which heightened their sense of entitlement. Student debt also contributed to their sense of entitlement. Things to consider. Keep in mind, when millennials ask for more money than you'd expect in an interview, they already have huge bills, which previous generations did not have hanging over their heads. They were told to go to college and get a good job. Then they expect that good job to pay for the education bills they incurred during their journey to get there. How do you compensate for unrealistic expectations and weed out the truly entitled? Communicate clearly defined expectations from the start. During hiring and onboarding, spell out the position's perks and milestones for advancements. Show them an attainable plan for building their skills and gaining valuable relationships that will get them closer to where they want to be. Broaden your definition of advancement. Most young professionals want to advance their careers quicker than promotions become available. You can retain them longer by abolishing the career ladder. Instead, think about offering special projects, more education, mentoring, or community involvement to keep them interested another 6 months and another 6 months after that. Successful strategies. The changing workforce isn't all about millennials. Everyone wants a voice, recognition, flexibility, transparency, and a great coach leading the team, not a boss. The difference is millennials have a much lower tolerance for accepting any less, so these expectations often become demands. Companies who are successful at bridging their widening generational gaps are putting intentional effort and resources toward the following areas of their businesses in order to improve retention rates and eliminate unnecessary turnover costs. Successful organizational strategies. Train managers to be more effective. Validate hunches with data via surveys. Strengthen employer brands. Revamp the onboarding process. Improve corporate communication channels, both frequency and content. Schedule shifts creatively. Offer new advancement opportunities. Modernize hardware and software. Treat employees as internal customers and continue winning them over. Successful management strategies. Say, what if we could, instead of we can't because. Reevaluate traditional definitions of professionalism and work ethic. Clearly communicate expectations. Maintain open dialogue with teams. Coach others to be more effective. Recognize a job well done, even if it is the employee's job. Treat employees as unique individuals. Summary. Anytime you think to yourself, they should know better, or that's just common sense, be aware that you are judging those people and forcing your unwritten expectations on them. Be kind and share the inside scoop of your unwritten playbook, also known as company culture. They'll thank you for it down the road and will be more likely to stay with you and your organization longer. To retain millennials longer and fully utilize their talents, remember TABLE, Table. Be open to change demanded by today's fast-paced, competitive business climate. Authority, gain respect via influence, expertise, and mentorship. Balance, work-life balance. Allowing employees to thrive in their 24/7 world, mixing in an appropriate dose of personal time throughout the day will gain you hours of availability from staff that you've never had before. Loyalty, gain millennials' loyalty by treating them like internal customers. Continue winning them over like you do your external customers and show appreciation for their commitment over time, just as you would a returning customer. Entitlement, communicate clearly defined expectations from the start. Do these things and you will be glad you did. For more information, contact author Cara Soletto at Magnetic Culture, WeReduceTurnover.com, and email solutions@magnetculture.com, or contact the narrator, Rex Houze, Improving Performance and Results, at improve-results.com, and email r.houze@improveresults.com.